So in my last video I covered the old DOS game Halloween Harry, otherwise known as Alien Carnage. But this time around I'm going to cover a native Linux game called Rocks and Diamonds. I normally have absolutely no interest in games like this, but I was perusing the openSUSE game catalog and installed this, and I'll have to say I'm impressed. So Rocks and Diamonds could be described as a combination between Balderdash, Supaplex, Emerald Mine, and Sokoban, but at its roots it's really a Balderdash clone. There's not a whole lot of information out there about its development, but it was released in 1995 as one of the first available games for Linux. And surprisingly enough, the most recent update was done at the end of 2013. As of September of 2014, the developer released the source code on Git. The entire game is written in C, of course. So being a clone of Balderdash, Rocks and Diamonds is an extremely simplistic game. You've got a title screen that's straight out of the 90s, with surprisingly good color and sound effects. Admittedly, I've never played Balderdash, let alone the other games that this was inspired by. But when playing the Sokoban levels, I couldn't help but be reminded of Chip's Challenge, which was another tile-based puzzle game that was ported to every platform but Linux. I have to say that I'm somewhat surprised by the graphics, especially being a game from 1995. I mean, being a tile-based game, there's really nothing much to the graphics, but I don't know. I find them pleasing to look at. I really enjoyed playing Chip's Challenge as a kid, and I find these Sokoban-based puzzles really amusing. The object here is to push the light bulbs onto their respective tiles, at which point they light up and then open up a door. It seems really simple, but you have to be careful about which tiles you push the light bulbs on, because you can end up screwing yourself pretty badly. The Balderdash levels are exactly what I would expect from a game called Balderdash. There's dirt that the character digs through, and the boulders fall onto the adjacent empty squares. Of course, you can get crushed by the boulders. So you go around collecting the gems, and at the end of the level your score is calculated by the amount of time you have left and the number of gems that you've collected. So a huge feature of Rocks and Diamonds is the custom level sets. Apparently there's a huge community out there that is still, to this day, generating level sets. So you've got all your basic level sets like Balderdash, Emerald Mine, Sokoban, and etc. But then people go into the weeds and come up with really weird level sets that you wouldn't expect in a game like this. Like Space Invaders. There's two different types of Space Invaders. And the funny thing is that they're actually pretty good. I've never been terribly good at Space Invaders, so I found myself getting killed a lot more than I should have. And then, wouldn't you know it, there's a Pac-Man clone. Yeah, someone actually built a Pac-Man level set, complete with the pills, the power-ups, the ghosts, the bonuses, everything. This is an honest-to-God Pac-Man clone. And then if things weren't crazy enough, there's actually a Zelda clone. Now this level set is actually more of a novelty, because it doesn't seem like you can do a whole lot. Moving from room to room is kind of awkward, the sounds are kind of weird, the weapons are kind of weird, and if you run into the wrong enemies, you'll just get stuck, and you'll have to start the game over. But the fact that they were able to actually build a Zelda clone with this game engine is shocking. So as far as my criticisms go, I actually only have one, and that is the resolution. So technically the game is being played in full screen, but unfortunately full screen means that over half of the overall screen volume is taken up by just black. I'm not really sure what's causing the limitation, but it's kind of a pain in the ass because on level sets like Pac-Man, I don't even get to see the entire level. Like when I get to the edge of the screen actually scrolls. So what if there was a ghost on that side of the screen? I wouldn't know until I almost hit him. So that's kind of lame. But other than that, I'd say for a tile-based puzzle game, this game is pretty much flawless. I mean, even the music is great. Listen to this. Now, I tend to be a sucker for upbeat chiptune melodies, but man, this guy did a great job with the music. Even the sound effects are good. I'm really impressed with this game. So that's going to wrap it up for this review. I'd say that if you're on Linux and you're looking for a really good tile-based puzzle game, obviously like Balderdash, but also like a Chip's Challenge, Rocks and Diamonds is a great game. You really can't go wrong with this game. So definitely check this one out.